Alright, so this video is going to cover tables 2.5 to 2.8 of basic English grammar. What we'll do is we'll go through the rest of this PowerPoint, which you can find on our Blackboard site. We will be having a quiz over this one, so you want to make sure that you understand this and come to class ready to ask any questions of things that you don't understand. So this table 2.5 is about things that are called possessive pronouns. Now, so far we've already talked about pronouns, which are subject pronouns, which we use in front of the verb to be. Now we're going to talk about possessive, they're called possessive adjectives, not possessive pronouns. But these possessive adjectives are words that come in front of a noun rather than in front of a verb or the verb to be, so far as we've studied. So if we look at this one here first, this first one says, "My apple is red." My is the possessive pronoun. So there's 6 different possessive pronouns. The first one is my, which refers to I. So I have an apple, my apple is red. The second one is you, your, which refers to you. The subject form of these are I and you, and the possessive forms are my and your. You can see that there's a difference in the forms of them. If we continue from this, we have she and her, and he and his. So again, the subject form is she and he, and the possessive form is her and his. Moving on to the plurals, we have 2 plurals. So we have we and our, we have you and your, and we remember again that you is both singular and plural, but you'll notice that here, even though you is plural, the possessive form doesn't change. So we have you and your. So in that case, we don't change your plural. And then the final plural form is they and their. They and their. So each one of these has a different form. So by possessive adjectives, what we mean is we're talking about ownership or belonging or relationship. So a possessive adjective comes in front of a noun showing that the person or the people owns that or that noun belongs to them. So if we look at this one here, it says Koji is wearing shoes. If we look at the picture, we're assuming that Koji is a man. So the correct possessive adjective should be his shoes are black. The next one here, we have 2 women, Alada and Jenna, are wearing jeans. So this is plural, so we're going to say their jeans are blue. Moving along, we say she is wearing boots. So again, this is a female and this is singular. So it will be her boots are old. Dirk is wearing a hat. And if we look here at the picture, we can see Dirk is a man. So it's going to be his hat is blue. So let's go on to this one. So in the first space, we need to use either have or has. So just as a review, we know that have is plural, and the exceptions is that have also goes with you and I. And has is singular, which just goes for he, she, or it. So remember that he means one person. So if we look here at Ben, Ben is the same as he. So it's singular, so we're going to say Ben has a coat. And we know that Ben is a man, so we'll say his coat is brown. The next one here is plural, Steve and Tia. We know that have is the plural form. So Steve and Tia have a car. And Steve and Tia is plural, so we need to use their car is old. Moving on, Susan, if you don't know, is a woman's name, but it's one person. So Susan would be the same as she. So we're going to say Susan has a book. And we know Susan is a woman and singular, so it will be her book is very big. Now here our subject is we. Now we know that we is plural, so it's going to be we have a new house. And the form for we, the possessive form for we is our. So it's going to be our house is small. So moving on, we've got a couple more here to go through. So we're talking about this and that. So this and that are other types of adjectives, and they also go in front of a noun. So if we look at this one, it says, I have a pen in my hand. This pen is old. This means something that is near to me. So it's describing a pen in this case, and we're describing a pen that either I am touching or that it will be easy for me to touch, meaning it's close to me. In comparison, I see a pen on the floor. That pen is new, which means that the pen is not close to me. It's not near to me, that it's far away from me. Say, whoops, sorry, whoops. We're going to say that this is our car. In this case, the car is far away from us, so we're going to say that is his car. In this case, is the dog close or far away from us? In this case, it's close, so we're going to say this is my dog. In this case, the dog is far away from us, so we're going to say that is his dog. One thing that I want you to pay attention to here, I said earlier that this and that go in front of a noun. But we'll notice that in these cases, this and that can also be used without a noun. So that is just coming before is. So it can be used in both ways. So these and those, same thing as this and that. These just means this, but in the plural, meaning that it is close to me, something that is close to me. So my shoes are next to me. These are my shoes, meaning these shoes, plural, are close to me. In comparison, those is just the plural form of that. So in this case, your shoes are in the kitchen, meaning they're far away from me. So we say those are your shoes. Those are plural. So if we look at this one, the cake, I know we can't reach into the computer, but let's assume that the cake is close to us. So we're going to use this cake is for Jill, because cake in this case is singular. In the next one, if we look at zebra, in the first one, zebra is singular, and we're going to say this zebra is near me. In comparison, in this next one, we have the words zebras, and that's plural, so we're going to say those zebras are far away. In this case, again, we have cats, which is plural, so we need to say these cats are young. In the second one, we have cat, which is singular, so we need to say that cat is old. So we're almost done here. So again, here we have man, who is singular, so we'll need to say this man is sad. And here we have the word people. Now people is one that sometimes confuses students because people doesn't have an S on it. So people wonder, is this singular or is it plural? But as we can tell from the picture, when we say people, we're talking about more than one person. The word person is actually singular. People is plural. So we need to use those people are happy. So the last section of this chapter is asking questions about what and who. So we have, what is this thing? It is a, and who is that girl? That is Katrina. What are those things? They're cats. Who are they? They're my friends. So we know that what is going to be used when we're talking about things. And in general, when we talk about things, we're talking about things that are not human. So even though sometimes with dogs or cats, sometimes you treat them as part of your family, generally when we're referring to animals, we use what. And we use who just for people. So when we're making these questions with what and who, we'll notice that when the subject, this, is singular, we use is. But when the subject, those or they, is plural, we're going to use the plural form of are. So we do have contractions with both of these. So we can say, what's this? Which means the same as what is this. We can also say, who's that girl? Which is the same as saying, who is that girl? So in this case, we can use contractions with both. So if we look over here at this first one, if we look at the question, the subject is her favorite sport. Now sport is not a person, so we're going to use what? And then we say sport is singular or plural. In this case, there's no S on it, so we're going to say it's singular, so it will be what is. In comparison, if we look at this one, we have your friends. Now your friends, the answer says Yuji and Fatima, so those are people, so we'll need to use who. And friends, we can see it has an S on it, so it's plural, so we're going to use are. In this next one, we have that. Now that can refer to either a person or a thing. So we have to look at the second sentence to decide whether to use what or who. And in the second sentence, it says, that is my English teacher. And in general, English teachers are people. I know there's some computers that do it as well, but in this case, we're going to assume it's a person, so we'll use who. And English teacher is singular, so we'll use is. In the next one, we say their names. Now this is one that confuses a lot of students because the answer is Carlos and Lee, and those are names of people. But the thing that we're asking about is not the people, but the names. So the names are actually things. So we're going to say what, and because names is plural, we'll also use are.